What's up, guys? Matt here, coming at you with another quick video. Finally back to a little something with the SCX24s. Wanted to talk about servos. I'm not going to do like a real scientific experiment with showing off these servos. Basically just going to speak on my experience with each one and then kind of show how they're mounted and that sort of thing, and just kind of give my opinion on them. To start with, I got some news. I got accepted as an affiliate for Emax Hobbies. So if you guys need anything from Emax, definitely reach out. Let me know. I'll get you a link, and it'll help support the channel. You don't pay any extra, anything like that. Just helps me out. So that's really cool. I'm excited about that. And this is a video I kind of meant to make, a long time ago. I just never got around to it. And so I thought, why not jump into it now? So you can see I got 4 different trucks here, 4 different servos. Well, 5 actually, stock ones on the back of here, but everybody knows how the back one runs. So here we have a Savox 0257, the SH0257. There's 2 different Savox servos that are basically the same, the 0257 and the 0255. You'll see this one has the 0255 in it. Not a huge difference. The size of them is a little different. So let's see if we can get a measurement at all on this, because that's the biggest difference between these two, really. And that looks like about, hard to get it there, but we'll say roughly 26 millimeter, whereas the can size on this one is to the front of it more like 28 or 9. It's a little bit deeper, so size difference. I think I'd have to look at the specs to be honest. I think the 0255 is supposed to be a little stronger. Maybe the 57's a little quicker. Honestly, I can't tell the difference in the truck. You can see that turns those 1.2s really well. And it's been turning mudslingers and 1.2s its whole life. So I've had it for a good 8 months, a year, I don't know. And it's did really well. These Savox servos do sometimes get warm. You'll feel some heat on them. And I did have one 0257 burn out. But that's 1 out of the 2 that I owned. And this one has been great so far. You can see pretty fast. Turns those tires no problem. Here's the 0255. Basically the same. Like all Savox servos, they're noisy. But no issues with these, either one of these. So, for the price, they're a great mid-range servo, in my opinion. Works pretty good with this buggy. You can see, kind of hit the front there. So I got the battery tucked in. But something like this, the Reefs, doesn't fit real well because it's quite a bit bigger. And you can see the stock servo back here, not half bad with that servo saver glued. Now, when you're in a bind, that stock servo, not gonna turn those at all. It's just on there right now because I killed the other one that was on there to start with. And I got something popping, did you hear that? But anyways, in a bind, stock servo is not going to turn those. The Savoxes did pretty well with the big tires in a bind. It depends how bad you're locked up, but no complaints with those. Other than the one did die, but I mean, I've had Emaxes die, all of them die eventually. So, pretty good mid-range price point. Then let's go to maybe the cheap dog. Everybody goes to the Emax, right? The ES08MA or MD2. I've had both MA and D, analog versus digital. I couldn't tell a difference, to be honest with you. Mounts up fairly easy. You can see on this one, maybe, how I just used a longer screw. Oh, I'm not in the camera. Used a longer screw here, and I notched the tray in the back for the wire to feed through. And that's all I did on this. And it works great. It's been like that for a long time. And wrong controller. Here it is. You can see it does pretty well. For most SCX24s, honestly, this is plenty for the price. They're super cheap compared to everything else. You can buy probably at least two of these, probably 3 or 4 if you buy one of those little bundles or whatever that, or possibly knockoffs, but they kind of all work the same to me, versus one of these Savox. And then the Reefs is even more than that. So you can see turns really well. For the price of them, I can't recommend them enough. Because if you put it in there, you know, I bought a pack of 4 that was like $25. I'm sure they were the knockoffs, but I had no issues for the most part. I think I've had 1 die out of the batch, but you know, we've ran them and they've did well. So my suggestion probably for most people would be that Emax. If you just have a slightly modified truck, kind of like this, you know, I've changed shocks, added a little weight in the wheels, and that's really about it on this thing. Well, it has a barrage motor, but yeah, if this is your setup or something similar, the Emax is totally the way to go, in my opinion, because they're so cheap. I mean, if it does end up quitting, you know, 6 months down the road, toss it and buy another one. So really good for the price, way better than stock. And then we have the big dog in here, and honestly, this is the best servo for the SCX24. It's just big. You can see it's pretty big. It works well on this truck because you can tell I have everything cut out of the way, so it's not really hitting on anything. Wouldn't fit well in something like this. You can see how big that can on it is, the body of it. What did I do? Let's see. Oh, calipers. So this thing is like, I mean, to the front of it, it's like 34, probably 33, 34, somewhere in there. So it takes a lot of room, but man, the thing is stout. And look at that, super smooth, fast, strong. I mean, if you're in a bind, it's just gonna move the truck. Like, you're not gonna have an issue. It just, I mean, you can lay it on its side and watch it just. So the Reefs 99, definitely worth the money if you can fit it. If I could make it fit well, I would have it in most of these. I would definitely have it front and rear here. If I could get it to fit well. And, you know, even my silver 4-wheel steer rig, I don't have much room in there either. So I'm not running one in it. But in my opinion, definitely the best. If you want the best, just get the Reefs 99, no questions. Really, I suggest on all of them, and I haven't did it on here because this has the Shapeways plastic steering links, but I would suggest just getting the Hot Racing aluminum links whenever you upgrade whatever servo. Makes a huge difference. You know, I've did O-rings and stuff in the stock links. You can see how sloppy these are. O-rings help, work good. If that's the way you want to go, it's super cheap. But for the price of these hot racing, I just go ahead and get them when I get a servo, honestly. And I actually have like 2 extra sets sitting here somewhere that I'm then aiming to put on this and something else, I believe. Just haven't did it. I think this thing's gonna get sacrificed soon for a new build. So my Jeep's probably gonna be gone. And we're gonna get a new build going here soon. So I got a lot of stuff people have pitched in. A lot of things to show off. Different companies helping bring us some really cool stuff. So I just got to get back into the SCX24s. Kind of been running the Emax and the Rift and this and that with the weather being nice and just enjoying all the stuff I can outside right now before it gets like blazing hot and it's just too hot for me. So kind of slacking on the SCX24s right now, but we will get back into them. All of these are sitting on a stock mount. So you can mount them all on a stock mount. You just have to do some cutting, some trimming, and maybe some modifying. You can see here, I mounted the micro on the bottom hole, and it's got a little gap underneath it, and the actual servo plate here, it's worked perfect ever since I put it in. No issues. The Emax here, like I said, I cut it. Cut the stock plate for this Savox, fits fine. All of these are sitting on stock mounting plates. So you don't have to go buy an expensive mounting plate to mount these up. I have put them on the, you know, they have the aluminum Emax mount. Everybody makes a mount. Everybody 3D prints everything for these things now. So you can pick one up if you want, but you don't have to. Work with what you got. You can make it work. So yeah. If you have any questions on any of these servos or just anything you see, I don't have experience with everything, but I have tried all of these and kind of know what I like about each one. It's kind of a toss-up between the 0255 and 57 in my opinion. Both good mid-range servos, the best, Micro 99, and then your Emax is definitely recommended for anybody just looking for a little bit of upgrade. So definitely, if you have any questions on them, let me know. Like I said, I'm not going to take these and put the same tires on each one and run them and do all that stuff. Just speaking from my experience with each, I've ran them for a year now, and so you know, kind of have my opinion set. So if you have any questions, definitely hit me up. Don't forget, I will link all of these servos. Try to, if you can get them from A-Main, that's awesome. It really helps out the channel. I appreciate it a lot. I'm always trying to buy things that I think people want to see and stuff. And then I also have stuff that I just want. So it gets pretty expensive sometimes. So I appreciate everybody's support. Definitely let me know if you have any questions. I appreciate you. Peace.